Shalom, good evening. This is TV7 Israel News broadcast to you from Jerusalem. And in today's top stories, Israel's health ministry instructs hospitals throughout Israel to prepare for a northern war. The United States ratchets up pressure on Israel to intensify humanitarian aid into the Hamas-controlled Gaza Strip. Jerusalem is proactively seeking Egyptian support to reignite negotiations on a hostage release deal. The war in the Hamas-plagued Gaza Strip rages on. IDF aircraft struck over 150 terror targets throughout the Palestinian enclave during the past day alone, while ground forces continue to locate subterranean infrastructure in which the Islamist terror groups have stored large quantities of rocket launchers, rockets, unmanned aerial vehicles, and other explosives. Meanwhile, IDF spokesman Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari provided details from a deadly incident in which 9 IDF soldiers were regrettably killed and 14 others sustained injuries while preparing to destroy a substantive subterranean weapons manufacturing site.
אתמול חשפנו באל בורג' את מפעל הייצור הרקטות ואמצעי הלחימה הגדול ביותר של החמאס. במהלך הפעילות המבצעית להשמדת התשתית התת-קרקעית של המפעל, נגרם פיצוץ כתוצאה מירי טנק שזיהה מטרת אויב בשטח. ככל הנראה, פגז של הטנק פגע בעמוד חשמל סמוך שגרם להפעלת המטען. מהפיצוץ נהרגו 6 לוחמי צה"ל ו14 לוחמים נפצעו.
Meanwhile, on Israel's northern front, hostilities continue to intensify.
בצפון היום חיסלנו את מפקד אזור דרום לבנון ביחידה האווירית של חיזבאללה, עלי חסן בורג'י, בכינויו אבו מהדי. חיסלנו אותו באמצעות כלי טייס של חיל האוויר. עלי הוביל עשרות פעולות באמצעות כלי טייס בלתי מאוישים כנגד ישראל. לאורך היום בוצעו מספר שיגורים משטח לבנון. 2 כלי טייס בלתי מאוישים פגעו בבסיס פיקוד הצפון. אין נפגעים ונגרם נזק שולי. אנחנו מתחקרים את האירוע הזה. עלי ביצע גם את התקיפה הזו, והוא חוסל 3 שעות לאחר מכן עם פעילים נוספים שהיו עמו. בנוסף לכך, חיסלנו היום חוליית מחבלים נוספת, שניסתה לבצע שיגור של כלי טייס בלתי מאוישים. 3 מחבלים נהרגו בתקיפה הזו, והציוד הושמד. אנחנו נמשיך לפעול בנחישות מול כל איום לשטחנו, לגבות מחיר ולהביא למצב ביטחוני אחר בגבול הצפון.
It is important to highlight that in response to the escalating situation in the north, the Israeli Health Ministry instructed hospitals to prepare for an influx of thousands of casualties. Per the instructions, hospitals were told to prepare within 24 hours' notice to move into bomb-proof areas, among other emergency measures. Meanwhile, in Lebanon, Hezbollah held a funeral for the commander of its elite Radwan unit, who was killed in an Israeli retaliatory strike on Sunday. Speaking after her son was buried, mother of the slain Hezbollah terrorist proclaimed that the assassination of her son does not deter Hezbollah from persisting in the fight against Israel.
احنا بنوجه رسالة أول شيء للعدو ما يفكر هو إنه إذا عمل مجازر وإذا سقطنا شهداء رح نجزع ورح نخاف. نحن ناس حاملين شعار هيهات منا الذلة. ما نكون بحسبانه أبدا إنه هذا اللي عم يعمله رح يأثر فينا أبدا. واللي هو عم يعمله مجرد فشة خلق وغضب نتيجة ضربات الموجعة من المقاومين. الحمد لله رب العالمين.
It is important to know that irrespective of hostile voices heard in Lebanon, Hezbollah is clearly deterred by Israel's preparedness to utilize its qualitative superior forces against it, as Jerusalem is adamantly determined to reintroduce security to its northern region and preserve Israel's territorial integrity in the face of Iran's malign aspirations via its local Lebanese proxy. And while Israel understands the heavy sacrifice it will have to pay for its nation's liberty, the United States is equally determined to avert another Mideastern war that could spiral out of control unless the US would ultimately deal with the orchestrator of regional instability, namely the Islamic Republic of Iran. And while such a scenario remains highly unlikely under the current administration, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken emphasized after a meeting with Jerusalem's top leadership Washington's commitment to help Israel reintroduce border security via diplomatic methods.
We also spoke about the tensions on Israel's northern border with Lebanon, where Hezbollah continues to launch daily rocket attacks on Israel. As I told the War Cabinet and other senior officials, the United States stands with Israel in ensuring its northern border is secure. We're fully committed to working with Israel to find a diplomatic solution that avoids escalation and allows families to return to their homes, to live securely in northern Israel and also in southern Lebanon.
Secretary Blinken further highlighted that during his trip throughout the region, he heard the respective leaders voiced their own aspiration to prevent the Hamas-instigated war with Israel from escalating.
On this trip, I came to Israel after meeting with the leaders of Turkey, Greece, Jordan, Qatar, the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia. All of those leaders share our concern about the spread of the conflict. All of them are committed to using their influence, using the ties that they have to prevent it from escalating, to deter new fronts from opening. In addition, all expressed grave concern about the dire humanitarian situation and the number of civilians killed in Gaza. We know that facing an enemy that embeds itself among civilians, who hides in and fires from schools, from hospitals, makes this incredibly challenging. But the daily toll on civilians in Gaza, particularly on children, is far too high. Important progress has been made in increasing the amount of aid getting into Gaza, including by opening Kerem Shalom. Nonetheless, 90% of Gaza's population continues to face acute food insecurity, according to the United Nations.
Well, regrettably, parroting international institutions and regional totalitarian leaders who've contributed directly to anti-Israeli disinformation over the situation in the Gaza Strip, based on figures distributed by no other than the Islamist Hamas itself, the American top diplomat did assert Washington's outrage over South Africa's decision to take legal action against Israel over baseless allegations of genocide.
We believe the submission against Israel to the International Court of Justice distracts the world from all of these important efforts. And moreover, the charge of genocide is meritless. It's particularly galling, given that those who are attacking Israel, Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis, as well as their supporter Iran, continue to openly call for the annihilation of Israel and the mass murder of Jews.
Secretary Blinken also addressed the plight of the families of the hostages who remain in Hamas captivity after the brutal massacre that occurred on October 7th.
We know that for the people who were most affected by the attacks and the conflict that's followed, time moves differently. Immediately before this, I met with the families of hostages being held in Gaza and with hostages who've been released. Several of those families I've now met multiple times. For them, every day, every hour, every minute that they're separated from their loved ones is an eternity. This immense human toll is one of the many reasons that we continue to stand with Israel in ensuring that October 7th can never happen again. It's also why we're intensely focused on bringing the remaining hostages home, addressing the humanitarian crisis, and strengthening protection for civilians in Gaza, and preventing the conflict from spreading. And it's the reason we're working urgently to forge a path to security in this region.
It is important to highlight that the IDF remains determined to do everything in its power to return all of the hostages who remain in Hamas captivity back home.
אנחנו לא שוכחים לרגע, כי ברצועת עזה מוחזקים עדיין 136 חטופים וחטופות, ובהם עשרות חולים, קשישים, מעל גיל 80, פצועים שמונעים מהם טיפול רפואי, שלא מקבלים תרופות קריטיות, ילדים ונשים צעירות שמוחזקות ללא הגנה בידי מחבלי חמאס האלימים. אנחנו דואגים לשלומן הפיזי והנפשי. מוטלת עלינו החובה המוסרית להשיב את כולם הביתה, ועל העולם כולו מוטלת החובה המוסרית, כמו שציין מזכיר המדינה, לזכור אותם ולפעול כדי לשחרר אותם מהידיים של המחבלים בעזה שפועלים בשיטות גרועות משל דאעש.
As part of the IDF's activities in relation to the hostages, the IDF's coordinator of government activities in the territories, Major General Ghassan Alian, visited Egypt yesterday, during the course of which he met with senior Egyptian officials in an attempt to achieve a breakthrough in negotiations for a hostage release deal. The sides also discussed humanitarian aid to the Gaza Strip, as well as possible Egyptian action to prevent a situation in which Hamas could attempt to smuggle Israeli hostages from the Gaza Strip into Egyptian territory or arms from being smuggled into the Palestinian enclave. Thank you for watching TV7 Israel News. I'd like to encourage you, pray for the peace of Jerusalem and salvation of Israel. Moreover, it is important to highlight that TV7 Israel is a donation-based non-profit ministry, with all of our productions available free of charge. Therefore, if you're blessed by our daily updates and would like to help us bear the costs, please consider making a donation. You can do so by visiting our website at www.tv7israelnews.com. I'm Jonathan Hessen, wishing you an Erev Mevorach, and God willing, we'll see you during our upcoming TV7 Israel updates. Until then, Shalom from Jerusalem.